Hello again, everyone. It's Nick Michalak along with Steve Frazier.
Hello, hello.
And we are doing a commentary today for the holiday season on Gremlins.
Merry Christmas.
A little unconventional, but still very nice.
It's a wonderful Christmas film.
Yes, indeed. And okay, so this is a audio commentary. There's no video accompanying this. But if you guys want to watch the film with your own copy of it, go ahead and hit the timestamp to 0 and hit play right now.
Take us back. This was released in the summer of 1984.
Which is unusual for something that has such a Christmas overtone to it.
I feel like that happens a lot, though. Like, it's either summer or it's December.
Yeah.
It actually opened on the same day as Ghostbusters.
Oh.
The exact same day.
That's interesting because they're such the same demographic for the movie. A little horror, a little comedy, a little something in there between it.
The great Hoyt Axton, this gentleman is.
Who was a country singer
Yeah.
beforehand.
Absolutely. Actually, quite a big career.
Yeah.
He wrote Joy to the World for Three Dog Night.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He wrote that. That was his biggest hit. And actually, you know what I did learn recently is that his mother wrote Heartbreak Hotel.
Oh. Yeah, because Elvis covered a lot of the rock songs.
Sure.
He never wrote any of his own rock songs. He only did the gospel songs himself.
So great voice out of Hoyt Axton here.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, I think he was in a couple episodes of Roseanne, maybe.
It could have been. Could have been. He's been a whole bunch of stuff.
I think he was like John Goodman's father in that, but...
I was always fascinated by this whole, like, let me take you into this underground shop.
Sounds like Big Trouble in Little China.
Like, does this gentleman really make enough money to sustain this business?
Probably not.
What is his business model?
A very low rent.
The basement of this Chinatown establishment.
But it adds such a great atmosphere to it. Just nice mysticism to the whole beginning of the film to kind of set the stage.
Interesting artifacts. Very, very interesting. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of cool to walk around that store a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, an inventor. I always thought that it was the coolest thing as a kid. Like, I love some of these inventions. I wanted all of them.
Despite none of them actually working, but
Well,
who cares?
Hey, you know
Just
what?
screw around
They're
with
good
them for a while.
ideas.
Yeah.
Like, all of his inventions are M. Night Shyamalan movies. They're all spectacular ideas, and none of them actually work when you get down to the end of it.
Oh.
The travel buddy, is that what this one is?
I think so, yeah. He refines it later in the movie.
Sure. I mean, it's got a toothbrush. It's got a razor. Oh, well, okay. It does wipe right off, so it's fine. I feel like this Chinaman is not impressed.
He is not impressed.
I don't think he's going to end up buying some of these for
I don't think so.
his clientele, which is obviously so stellar.
Although at the end of the movie, we'll get to that.
Oh, dear. And who is this little boy? Like, is that his kid? Is that his helper? Is that, like some sort of, like, Chinese labor thing?
Surprised it's not the kid from Temple of Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going to get into this, because between Gremlins and Temple of Doom, that's pretty much what birthed the PG-13 rating, because you're starting seeing these films that are kind of family-friendly, but they had a lot more edge to them, more gore type of more graphic stuff, so they really wanted to make a middle ground between the PG and R ratings.
Absolutely.
And
this was
both of them being Spielberg
this movie actually
properties.
Is rated PG. PG-13 didn't exist at the time, as you were saying.
Yeah.
And Spielberg actually is the one who went to bat for the PG-13
Yeah.
because people were walking out of this. They were taking their kids to go see this. All this, little.
It's a bit horrific.
And then turns into a horror movie, and you're like, oh.
And even even before that, like Poltergeist was kind of riding that line too.
Sure.
So a lot of the Spielberg stuff was just kind of pushing the envelope.
Why do you have him, sir, if he's not for sale?
Why is he on the sales floor?
Is he your pet? That part I never really understood. I was like, what is your logic behind?
Yeah.
And the kid's gonna broker a deal? Oh God! What was that kid's name in Temple of Doom? He had short round. Yeah.
Short round. I think he might actually be wearing the same Yankees cap, just for sake of the wardrobe.
Sure.
Save some bucks.
He needed the money.
He needs the money.
He just said he wouldn't be sold at any price. You telling me somebody who needs money? Never mind.
Whatever.
All right, so here we're learning the rules.
Yeah.
The water, the food, the sunlight.
And we'll get into the shakiness of some of the rules.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of a shakiness to the rules.
Because obviously the film gets ridiculous.
Well, okay.
In the best possible way.
I do like movies that tend to start off great and then get ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so here's a shout out again
to Raiders and Temple
Spielberg
Doom.
and the old Ricky Rialto. I like it. Now some of you may recognize this town. This is the exact same set
the
as
courthouse on the right hand side
as Back to the Future.
With a nice matte painting extending the townscape there.
Sure. So yeah, the same film set. They used a lot of, and actually this one came first. So I guess Back to the Future used the Gremlins set.
Yes, technically.
But for the most part,
Yeah. It was real nice dressing. I mean, they're actually shooting this in summertime, from what I recall reading about it. That
so the summer before, like summer of '83.
Yeah, probably about a year ahead of time, and so they're wearing all this heavy clothing, and it's like 100 degrees out or something.
And fake snow, yeah.
Now you get his proper introduction by Corey Feldman in the tree.
Yeah, I did recognize the voice.
Yeah, hard to.
Corey Feldman was basically everywhere in between 1983 and 1986. I think he was in every film.
The VW bug, not working.
No. Oh, there he is, Corey Feldman, right there.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Banks? Did I see Jonathan Banks?
Banks.
I don't recall Jonathan Banks being in this film.
He's one of the bumbling cops.
That's fantastic.
Same year did Beverly Hills Cop.
Right. Beverly Hills Cop and Ghostbusters, and this one being like 3 of the top 4 grossing movies of the year. Mm-hmm. 2 on the same day, 2 having Jonathan Banks.
It's amazing. You look at Zach Galligan today, it looks like he's aged like 3 years in like 30.
Sure. Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy. Amblin Entertainment. Kathleen Kennedy now runs the Lucas. Yeah.
Lucasfilm. Dick Miller.
He's so wonderful.
Every film should have Dick Miller in it. And almost did in the 80s.
And a tractor.
But yeah, I mean, Dick Miller, he...
I feel like this is fake snow on the car.
Yeah,
just shot with like a spray can of Christmas tree snow.
I'm sure it was.
Go ahead. What were you saying about it?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, Dick Miller, you worked a lot with Joe Dante.
Sure.
All the way back to, like, I don't know, I never saw the Piranha, but obviously Howling.
Wait, you've never seen Piranha?
No, unfortunately, but...
I haven't. We'll watch it.
The Howling and the Burbs and almost everything in between and beyond, he's pretty much been the mainstay of Joe Dante films, which is wonderful. And he also did the Terminator the same year, so get blown away by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sure. I love movie theaters in films.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's like sometimes they put up fake stuff, and sometimes they put up real stuff.
This one looks a little bit more, at least for 80s, retro.
Sure.
A lot of classic film house exhibitions.
This one written by Chris Columbus, as you just saw.
Yes.
The cool old Burger King logo with the 2 buns.
All in the back lot, and I guess as the film goes on, you kind of get a sense of how much of it's kind of backlot shot, but that's kind of what Joe Dante was going for, because he's such a fan of like the kind of 50s, whatnot, horror, sci-fi films that kind of have that feel to him, and so he's kind of trying to capture that sensibility. He's always kind of have little nods or homages to those types of films that he grew up on, so it has a little bit of charm to the film, I think. Excuse me.
You'll take your dog to work day. FDIC even back then.
Upside down nameplate.
Good to know.
Which I don't think ever gets fixed in the film.
Oh,
Phoebe Cates. Looking wonderful.
so adorable here.
Yeah.
Petitions. Back before petitions were online, like
Viral and everything.
viral, right? Sign this petition that means nothing. This might actually have meant something.
Trying to stop Mrs. Deagle from
Mrs.
running people
Deagle.
down.
Sure.
And I was looking into like awards the film might have been nominated for, whatnot. I don't think it really got any Oscar kind of consideration, but she was actually nominated for a Saturn Award.
Oh, really?
I think she might have won it. She's the only actor in the whole film that got nominated. And of course, the film got like special effects stuff from Saturn Awards and everything, but I don't think Oscars took much attention to it.
Sure.
But of course, in a year that also had like Ghostbusters and Terminator, stuff like that, that had a lot more.
It was really a solid year in film.
Intense visual effects stuff. It's easy to overlook it, but once we get to the animatronics and all that stuff, we'll definitely have a lot to say. But Mrs. Deagle.
I remember her from the television show Alice.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched that in eons.
That was, and I think by the time that I had seen Gremlins, I was already watching that show. She was a character on that 70s television show, and a likable character, and here she was playing this dastardly heel. And so, I mean, she really is just a bitch.
Oh, yeah, straight up.
I mean, I feel like this is that lady
She's as cold as the snow.
that everybody in town knows.
Yeah.
Are those twins? Are they dressed alike?
No, I think it's a guy
Did they just dress it like that?
Probably.
That mother is
just to make it look
silly,
cuter.
Right? So yeah, we all know somebody in every town that is like a socialite, or maybe not socialite, but thinks that they're
A higher,
shit doesn't stink.
snooty person.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's Mrs. Deagle.
Oh. And she wants to get the dog euthanized. It's like how you can. That's the most direct line to making sure that everyone in the audience
Just hates her.
Woman.
Right.
The cute little dog. You want to put him down. Just look at the look in her eyes. She's relishing the moment of thinking about it.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
What a smart dog. Dogs are smart.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the old spin dryer.
Oh. We'll see. Fucking.
Well, there goes the rest of your head, lady. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, the old weak heart. Oh, there's Judge Reinhold there.
Judge Reinhold. Again, another Beverly Hills Cop
Another
guy.
Beverly Hills Cop guy.
Pretty much wearing the same wardrobe,
was
too.
That's okay. I was gonna say this old man might have been also in Beverly Hills Cop.
It looks a little bit like the police chief, but
it's not
quite.
I don't think it is.
Again, he kind of wearing the same outfit.
The same outfit, right? There was really only
Bankers and cops apparently dress very similarly.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Especially when we talk about Beverly Hills Cops. Anyway, nice artwork.
I always wonder, like, who draws this stuff?
The guy who was sitting right next to Zach Galligan, and I know he's a cameo of some sort, like a cartoonist or whatnot. He might have been the guy who actually.
Okay, so that might have
a
been
Warner
like
Brothers cartoonist. I
like
think.
an homage.
Yeah,
like that guy drew the picture.
I think so. Kind of similar to Batman when they have a little Bob Kane drawing or something.
Sure. Well, films do that all the time.
And it's Warner Brothers. They got these guys on call anyway, so for their Looney Tunes stuff.
I love the small town bar atmosphere.
Yeah, nice warm colors too. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're watching this. You want to be at that bar eating popcorn and drinking Coors and.
Of course.
Not Coors Light.
No.
That didn't happen till way later. Is she 21? Was that a thing?
don't know. And again, this is awkward to think of about Judge Reinhold and Phoebe Case from Fast Times.
Right.
In the same scene together.
Right.
They had an awkward scene of that.
Yes, yeah. Yes, they did. I feel like she's much cuter here.
Yeah, a little more, I don't know, baby fat in the cheeks and whatnot kind of.
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah. And this was, Fast Times was before this, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's like
83,
82, 83,
Yeah.
And kind of interesting, I mean, you don't usually see Judge Reinhold playing this kind of jackass character. He's usually playing a bit more...
The lovable loser?
Yeah, a lovable loser, endearing type of character, a little bit more heartwarming type of guy. This one, he's just an ass.
Oh, the old dial TV.
Yes.
God, you remember that? You had to turn the
VHF, the UHF, yeah.
Right. I always really liked this house. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously a set.
Yeah.
But they've decorated it quite nicely. Here's another
another.
Peltzer. I've always loved the idea of
I love all the looks that they give every time they're about to work one of these machines. Like, oh shit, it's gonna blow up now.
Right, what's gonna happen? And what a great little gimmick that nothing ever worked. There it is. That facial expression that says, well, you know your dad.
Yeah. Sounds like you should get him and Doc Brown together or something.
Yeah. Well,
they can blow up a few square blocks of a city.
What is she making that requires that many onions and that many tomatoes?
I don't want to know. That's gonna be a tangy meal.
Oh, that dastardly Deagle. Uh-oh. He's singing. You can hear him. I think that movies that feature inventions are always so clever. Like, obviously, somebody had to invent the idea for the film.
Yeah.
So, you know, lots of people probably don't get credit for...
More 80s wallpaper.
Oh.
We commented.
There's always a bad wallpaper in every 80s film.
Deagle House is the worst. We'll get to that. But yeah, I miss this kind of house with the nice wood trim and stuff, and it just feels very cozy.
It does. It does. And he's wrapped up this live animal that he's never seen before.
There's no air coming through it.
Right, none.
Suffocating the little guy.
The sunken living room has always been a thing that I've enjoyed. Oh, yeah, pull that chair right up there.
Yeah, gotta get it in frame. The remote control lights.
It's fantastic.
Remote control everything in this house. I like the phone later on. Remote control phone. Oh, here we go.
It's a great box, actually.
Wonderful design, yeah. I mean, they got great production design in this film.
I mean, I'm super impressed already. And it's been a minute since I've seen this. So, hello.
That's nice.
The film debut of Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel.
Doing the voice of Gizmo.
Deal or no deal?
Interestingly, the voice of Gizmo is almost identical to the voice of Bobby from Bobby's World, which was I loved that show when I was younger and older. And, you know, he always had that Bobby character in his stand-up. Howie Mandel's great. What a cute thing. Whatever it is. I mean, mogwai.
Mogwai.
But, I mean, whoever production designed this little guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm sure they went through a couple different permutations of ideas and just landed on the cutest thing on the planet.
But, absolutely. I mean, how could you not want that?
I mean, look at that close-up.
The robotics on it. I mean,
the animatronics on this
or
thing
animatronics rather
are just mind-blowingly good. I mean, it's 1984. I mean, there's just a few years after Industrial Light and Magic perfected Yoda in a certain way. This is just leaps and bounds ahead of that, because this is all animatronics. There's no one inside puppeteering or whatnot. Just like every little expression, every little twitch is just all
robotics.
All these
yeah.
guys behind the scenes, all these cables and everything, working different switches and everything. It just comes together perfectly.
Don't give him a bath.
Don't give him a bath. And it's all things like, you see what happens when you give him a bath later on, too. I mean, when Stripe jumps in the pool.
I mean, it's just the cutest damn thing.
Yeah.
I to this day, it's been over 30 years, and I still want one. Even though I know...
And the little sounds he makes, little purrs and everything, just like, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a perfect piece of merchandising, too. I mean, if they could create one that had, you could just squeeze it and make purrs and whatnot, just like sell 1 billion copies.
I feel like there's still a market for this thing.
I'm sure there's like special edition collectibles out there.
I know I've seen some really, really fantastic Gremlin replicas.
Yeah.
And I've seen some, pretty decent gizmos. There it is. Merry Christmas,
even
everybody.
Cuter.
Oh, they've got a jealous dog. Look at him.
The dog's getting jealous, man. It's like, oh, bright light, bright light.
Didn't we learn our lesson? Poor little guy.
Just thank you, Hayo Mandel, for just making this little thing sound so cute. Every time he's just crying and such. I mean, just like, it's just so adorable.
Some good rose wallpaper in here.
Yeah.
If this isn't a 1980s bathroom, I don't know what is. Pictures of roses on top of the rose wallpaper. That's good. Aw, his little frown face.
Quivering little lip. I mean, come on. I guarantee you, like, everyone who saw this movie, the 10 seconds after they saw him on screen, they wanted to buy every copy, every plush doll and whatnot immediately.
So at this point, we're 15, 20 minutes into the film?
Somewhere around there.
And, the parents have brought their little kids to the cinema. They've sat down. They've discovered this wonderful little kid, or this little guy who is cuter than anything else you've ever seen in your whole life, and you want one. And then, by 1 hour from now, we're gonna be
we're gonna be in terror zone.
Absolutely.
Oh, here comes the orange juice man.
What a great idea!
He's like,
look at it. You store your oranges underneath.
He's looking at it like a death machine.
It's outstanding.
Oh, it's great.
You don't even have to peel the orange, if I remember correctly.
No.
You just drop it in.
Drop it in and it makes a mess.
Wait. Freshly squeezed. Oh. Never mind.
There's not that much juice in one orange. It's just trust. I'm sure.
No, I've never met an orange that had. So is Feldman like the mascot for the tree people?
I'm guessing so. He probably gets paid like $5 a day.
Because he's like dressed as, oh, look at that mess.
Oh,
it's
no,
everywhere.
No. I was gonna come home and have a fit.
Peeler juicer. All right.
What's that mop top on Corey Feldman?
It's still going. This is all from one orange.
One orange. It's probably backed up in there or something. Oh, poster for the Road Warrior.
Good taste. Now, there is an actor.
Cary Grant. It's great how they can just do these close-ups and they have that much confidence that it's going to hold up to that scrutiny on this thing, and it does.
Right. Oh yeah, he wants to drive a car real bad.
Is these great little subtle sit-ups for what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Like an hour and 10 minutes later.
Is that what I think it is? I'm feeling like that's a Styx record.
Oh, but Twilight Zone, the movie, on the left-hand side.
Okay,
there,
good,
which,
good.
Joe Dante and Spielberg worked on.
Oh, here's the... Feldman gets the big reveal here.
Oh, and little accident occurs.
His little nose, everything. Everything about this mogwai is so ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and the fact that they could perfect it even further for the sequel that was like 6 years later.
I think it was 1990. Yeah,
1990, yeah. Which I did see in the theater.
I'm fairly certain I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Cameo by Hulk Hogan in that one.
Exactly, because in the home video release they altered that, being instead of the film breaking, they end up having like a Gremlins start changing channels and they're in like a John Wayne scene. So I remember seeing they didn't reinstate that till like the DVD. So
interesting.
That's how I terribly remember. But here we go.
Uh-oh.
The terror begins.
So I'm curious as to the science behind this.
Yeah, because I'm glad they don't go into so much an origin of where this creature comes from, because I guess the novelization is a bit more science fiction in its idea that it came from like another planet or something like that. It's like, I don't want to know it's an alien. Just a little mythical creature or whatnot from ages past. That's why it's in that antique store. Something from Far East.
Right.
Something that's nearly extinct.
Sure. I mean...
That's all you need to know. Sometimes you just don't need an explanation. Just let it be.
Oh. He's popping them right out.
On top of those comic books.
And here come some little mogwais.
And kind of thanks to Jerry Goldsmith's score here, you kind of get... It just kind of sits at little undertones like... It's not really a good thing to be happening right now.
Right. Well, I mean, it's kind of mysterious. Like, what's happening? You don't know what's happening. And then here we go. We're silent. And we have some ominous, uneasy feeling about what's happening. And now all of a sudden...
It was a little bit playful, but I mean, you can see Gizmo there. He's a little kind of shaken up, and
the mohawk.
The mohawk is and right
there's our first taste.
Yeah,
that this one
is a little more dangerous.
So, if breaking the rule to
3D glasses.
If breaking the rule by getting him wet is what actually.
Look at the stress on his face. Jeez. I mean, that's just...
is what reproduces them.
Yeah.
But, so at this point, are they actually evil, or are they just mogwai? Because I feel like it's not till they break the second rule that they become...
fully mature into their potential.
They turn into the gremlin.
Yeah.
So getting it wet just multiplies them?
The improved travel buddy. After he's working on some kind of automatic card dealer or something. Just imagine living with a father like this. He's always creating he's just...
Imagine this, right?
Imagine this. You admire his dedication.
Right.
But every day he's coming up with a new gadget that's going to cause some kind of destruction. He's going to...
That's what he gets.
Toothpaste all over the place.
That's what you get, sir.
But they're great gags in the film. It just adds...
Yeah.
It could have been just a regular old father walking around Chinatown, grabbing this and being intrigued by this thing to get to his kid. But he just adds so much character with this element in the film. It just adds something more to it. Donkey Kong. There we go.
So it appears that breaking the rule of getting him wet only really multiplies them. These are not necessarily evil creatures at this point.
They're just very mischievous right now. They're...
Well, here you go.
Just subtle undertones. Yeah.
Here you go. Every kid in America would want one of these. Was the line?
And that's his thinking as an inventor.
Right.
How do I market this?
Absolutely. which is perfect because us at
Everyone
home
did.
are going, yes, I
Gimme,
want one.
gimme.
Mr. Peltzer, sign me, give me one.
The #1 holiday gift.
And even he says, this could be the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And it is interesting that, he's so docile, Gizmo,
Yeah.
and these other 5, who are apparently much longer. Look at the feet sticking out there on the end there. They seem to be much more mischievous, as you said.
Yeah. Just look at the lighting in this whole thing. I love how I'm not sure of the DP on the film, but it just looks so beautiful. I mean, they other times they're using a little bit of amber to give the warm thing, and then this horrible shit.
I mean, okay, you couldn't do this in a movie today.
No, you couldn't.
I don't think you could.
You'd have animal rights activists jumping down your throat left and right.
That's not a pup. That's not a robot or a.
I don't think
stuffed,
that's. Yeah,
I think that was the actual dog.
That might have been. Yeah.
I mean, granted,
in a harness or something. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't there for very long. I'm sure.
Another gadget.
Look at this thing.
What the hell?
Was it plugged in? I believe it was plugged in.
It was like some kind of pneumatic hammer. It's like you don't have to swing it. You just hit a button. The most inconsequential type of stuff he's inventing.
Oh, now we're speaking my language. Let's look at this thing. Oh, it's perfect. Yes, please.
So it turns into sludge. There we
go. Oh, the old motor oil. Oh. Yeah, I don't want that.
What are they doing to that artichoke?
They are probably cooking the artichoke using electronic induction or whatever.
They said the most useless crap is inventing.
At least he can make fun of himself.
Yeah, he's not deluded.
What does it say? Franklin Roosevelt School. Okay.
Good old FDR.
Sure. No, don't do that.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, what are you doing, Billy?
Just one drop.
You should know. And you don't really realize the first time watching. That's kind of the great thing. You go back and watch it, and the terror just comes in the film so much earlier. You just realize you really shouldn't be doing that shit.
At this point, it's innocuous.
Yeah. We don't know. Watching it the first time, you just
all we
have
know
no
is
idea.
it makes a new one.
Yeah.
You want a mogwai? Well, okay, you can have a mogwai, and you can have a mogwai, and you can have a mogwai. Everybody get some water? Let's have some mogwai.
You would think, like, if they did breed more of them and they did sell them, there'd be like 1 billion of these things running amok. It'd be an infestation. All these kids would be dumping them in water. You had to create another 100 of them, run around town.
And how is there only one? I don't know.
Well, a little dropper, because before when Corey Feldman...
No, I meant one in the original Gizmo. How was there only one?
In the beginning of the film.
In the beginning of the film.
Well, I don't know. Maybe someone else has another one somewhere. But yeah, I don't know. Mr. Futterman. He just drives around town in a tractor.
Absolutely, he does.
Drunk driving with a tractor.
And she's in charge of the bar? I forget. Is it like her dad's bar or?
I don't know. Family? She works at the bank. She works at the bar. Okay.
Killian's Irish
George
Red?
Killian's. I don't think that's her father.
No, that's the beer.
Because her father is not alive.
Right.
As we learn later. There's a little drop the title there. Gremlins, talking about the World War II. Gremlins mucking up his airplanes and everything.
So it's a conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy.
The little gremlins. Because at no point do they actually refer to the animals as gremlins. I don't think. Do they?
Only because
of this
Only because
scene?
of him.
Okay.
Yeah. Billy does call them gremlins later on, but it's only because
the seed was planted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't think they just call them running around creatures or something. Ghastly little devilish creatures.
Here's a lost practice.
You don't see this anymore. No one goes around caroling.
You get shot.
Sadly.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Go to Clint Eastwood's house. Shoot you with a shotgun.
Some kind of poor decorating out of these folks. They did one round around the banister and a couple of trees. Is this the scene where she reveals the terrible story, or is that later on?
No, it's later on. She's just kind of alluding to not liking Christmas for some reason.
Okay.
It's not until like late, close to the third act.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
There's more that fake snow on the bushes. It just looks so bad. But I guess if it's, summer and...
If they're shooting in summer, and as I don't know what they did to keep them from sweating profusely under all this stuff.
Cooling tents, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously backlot. That's pretty clear, I think. So it's not like they're inside of a sound stage or anything.
Oh, no, yeah, this is definitely a set of, it's a backlot set.
Yeah.
It's not like they just discovered this town somewhere in America and went filming. Which is very convenient. I mean, it's very interesting to think that you can build a whole town on a movie lot and obviously use it multiple times. It kind of makes you wonder, has this front door and this porch ever been used in other films?
A dozen other movies, yeah.
And we never even knew.
Yeah. They might have redressed it, changed the color or something, whatever it is, to suit their aesthetics.
She is adorable.
Yeah. I think Zach Galligan does a good job in this film. He just entirely endearing, charming type of character that really kind of latch on to, and that does have the warm Christmas feel, but also has so much terror that you really need characters you really do care about to be scared for them.
Which I think is a problem with a lot of films, current horror films, is that you actually don't care about anybody.
A lot of times, yeah. I mean, that's something I always bring up whenever I'm reviewing a horror film, that I gotta care about the characters for it to be scary.
Sure, because if you don't care, granted...
If they're all just written as cannon fodder, it was like, okay, well, it's just here for either a splatterfest or a jump scare fest. And it's not really what I'm looking for.
Those are the two categories of horror films now.
Oh.
And he's really at the school, like, working late at night, doing secret science experiments. I don't buy that.
Oh.
Aw. I really don't like sad face on Giz.
Well, that's not Gizmo, actually. I don't.
Oh, no, that's right. No, this is the other one.
This is one of the other ones, yeah. But it's nice that they can still... They're not playing him overtly as dastardly.
Well, right, because...
You still get those moments where they seem a little charming.
Right, they're not... Oh, and here's the pod people.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Again, nice little subtle thing for like another 10 minutes later in the film. It's like... Joe Dante is such a good director from everything I've seen of him that he doesn't get as much credit as I think he deserves in terms of the long-term stuff. People obviously loved his films at the time, but they think more about this is a Spielberg production. They kind of think more Spielberg. And it's kind of interesting that, it is a Joe Dante film, has all its tropes, but you still have that sort of Spielberg glow and this Spielberg magic in the film. It just permeates so much, but you still have a little bit of a different flavor in there too.
Sure.
I think if Spielberg directed himself, it'd be a bit more of a saccharine feel. But Joe Dante is so good at horror that I think it really that's one of the strengths that it really brings to it.
Yeah, I agree. If Spielberg had done this himself, it wouldn't be the same film.
Yeah.
How is there that much chicken left over?
It's got to be dried out by now if you're not covering that stuff
right.
up. I don't even think he heats it up. Just give him cold chicken.
I love cold chicken, though.
Oh.
So now they're eating.
Close-ups and making it look a little disgusting.
Yummy.
It's a lot of chicken for these guys to eat, too. His little mouths, how much they get in there.
Well, sure. Oh, there go the bones. Love it.
Them bones.
Aw, Giz. Why is he such a good boy?
He loves his 3D glasses too. I mean, is there anything in this film they don't do to make him look cuter?
It's interesting that the reproduced mogwai are, hungry and mischievous, and the original mogwai
hyperkinetic
doesn't have those traits.
Yeah.
So does that mean he was bred naturally, or?
Yeah, we don't know any
We
more
don't
about
know.
the life process of these creatures.
But clearly, the eating after midnight is what really turns them into.
Yeah. Nice lighting there, kind of giving it a little bit more of an evil shade on them and everything.
Let me just sneak that ham. Who eats 2 bites of a ham sandwich at 2 in the morning?
Yeah.
Look at Giz. He's so scared. But he's so smart too, because he takes something away from every one of these films that he watches. Oh, look at him.
Nah, getting all sleepy. And in a second here. Yeah, he's scared
He knows.
to death.
He knows. And
Yeah.
oh. Okay.
It looks so putrid.
Again, outstanding production design.
Special effects, everything. I mean, these are all made out of latex, and just like, especially later on when you get more of that atmospheric lighting on, it's just like, ugh.
So, here's where this begs the question: this after midnight
Yeah.
eating thing.
Yeah,
At what point does after midnight become the next day?
exactly.
Like, does 6 a.m. after midnight
Yeah.
or 6 a.m. morning?
Yeah, because I was watching the film in preparation for this and thinking like, they just kind of like said between midnight and dawn or something like that. They would have cleared it up, but obviously, even in the sequel, they kind of make fun of that idea. It's like, but as the film goes along, we end up seeing a bit more ridiculous concepts kind of
Sure.
come out and everything. So it's like, it's
Well,
not
I
really
think-
asking you to take everything so seriously.
I do think that the rules change again once you become a gremlin.
Yeah,
As opposed to
because they're eating shit all the time.
Sure.
It doesn't do anything to them.
right. Now that's a cookie. Look at this thing.
That's all. That'll fill you up.
Hopefully, all those onions
Yeah.
didn't go into the cookies.
Oh no, hope not. Oh, the remote control phone.
The rotary
doesn't work.
The old rotary phone. Remote. That's so great. And what is this over here on the counter? Is that a scale with the buttons? It's got the Peltzer on it.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Some kind of big. Oh, it's a big blender that we see later on.
Oh, you know what? That might be the popcorn popper, because there was popcorn next to
okay.
it.
Okay. Spielberg right there,
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't
rolling
realize.
around. Yeah, he's the one in the cart there. In
I
the
see.
Back.
I didn't realize that he had a cameo.
Keep your eye on the time machine on the right. It disappears later.
Oh, really?
All these background gags.
That's so great.
I think when we cut back to it, it just, you'll see.
It went back to the future.
It's gone. Just a cloud of smoke.
That's awesome.
Little H.G. Wells there.
Oh, God. Outstanding.
Just, yeah, I mean, just, you take a little innocuous dialogue scene, and you just add some background action to it that just makes it so much better. More Deagle talk.
Like, what in the world does Mrs. Deagle do that she would have this much power over everything?
And she can cut in a line, push people around.
She just, I mean, she's not the mayor. I don't recall them mentioning her being on, like, city council. Like,
Yeah. Look at this terrible fur she's wearing when you go back around to the front.
I generally like fur.
Yeah. It's got like that. The hands.
Oh, the hands!
Yeah, it just. Ugh. It's kind of. It's not complimentary. It's not flattering.
No. And I like that they the match cutted to the bunny and the heartbeat that may have been like rabbit fur around her, and that being a thing.
And you have the heartbeat going through this scene when you start cutting into the inside the box and everything, just like
what's in the box?
What's in the box? Actually, at the end of 7, a gremlin pops out and rips off.
This is
Brad
the
Pitt's
same
face.
box delivered to Brad Pitt.
God damn, Kevin Spacey, what are you doing?
Oh. So now I assume that is this the first time we see a gremlin?
We're starting to see something.
So I would assume, is this the midpoint of the film? Again, we should really have a ticker on here.
Yeah.
I wish we had a timestamp on it. Oh,
well,
there we go.
45 minutes in.
Poor Giz.
Oh.
In the Fangoria magazine on the floor there. That was cool.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that Giz has seen this before.
I was kind of thinking that, yeah. He's probably been down this path before, and who knows how old he is. He could be 100 years old, for all we know. He could have been through this stuff.
And I love that they don't explain it.
Yeah, again.
Thank you, Chris Columbus.
Just let it be, like I said earlier.
Is Chris Columbus like one of the most underrated people in Hollywood? Like,
maybe.
I just
up
love
to a point, I'm sure.
I mean, I guess I didn't realize that he was such a good writer. You know, obviously everybody knows his directing.
Yeah.
But, you know, he didn't write Home Alone.
No, John Hughes
did. He didn't write Harry Potter.
No.
You know, it's like...
No,
okay.
not by a long shot.
So, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you think Chris Columbus, you don't think writer. You think director.
Yeah.
But clearly, I mean, as we've been discussing all of these little nuances, and I've not read the actual script, so I don't know how many were put in, you know, during production as opposed to in the screenplay.
I'm sure a lot of it was collaborative between the trifecta of Spielberg, Dante, and Columbus.
Sure.
That's a lot of talent there. It's kind of interesting. Again, another kind of a fantastical concept, like in the cocoons and everything. You get light shining through it, and it's not really realistic, but it just adds to the atmosphere and everything. It's like, forgo that. Kind of be a little bit more like a 50s B movie. You don't really need to have it make sense, but it's good for effect.
Right.
It creates more for the film.
Right, because it's subtle enough that you don't even... that you're already so lost in the fantasy that at that point, okay, if there's light coming out of the pod, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they go inside the box, which is completely enclosed. It should be entirely dark. You shouldn't see anything, but there's light in there.
Of course.
Who cares? Whatever.
Well, we got to be able to see.
We're scared enough as it is already. It's getting creepy, so, I mean, it just adds to it again.
Oh, candy bar.
Yeah, candy bar.
A Snickers. It really satisfies.
Snickers, see.
I mean, who wouldn't go after a Snickers if it was presented to you? So whatever this is intelligent enough to know how to turn on the projector.
Yeah. I mean, it's something I'm looking to get into later because it's more prominent later on, but you just see how mechanically inclined these creatures are.
They really are.
They've all existed for all 5 minutes, and they know how to operate machinery and everything. It's like almost like an inherited sort of intelligence from Gizmo or something.
Well, and we've learned that Gizmo is highly intelligent and is very capable of... Oh, well, you know what? The other mogwai that was here before it ate did witness, I would assume, like, you know, he learned some sciencey things from this room. Oh, yeah. Everything's going to be just fine.
It's going to be good until... the candy bar ain't enough. He wants some dark meat.
Oh. And the film has run out.
When's the last time you saw a film projector in a high school, in a school or whatnot? I don't think I ever saw one in high school.
I don't recall if I
They
had...
always just set up a TV and a VCR.
Yeah.
Obviously, back in the 80s, a VCR was a whole lot more expensive.
Sure,
I'm sure.
sure.
So they had film projectors sitting around for 30 years.
In 1980, they were like $1,000.
Yeah.
And
they weighed about 50 pounds.
Sure. And VHS tapes were $100.
Oh, yeah. They pretty much did that just to kind of stimulate the rental market. It's like,
right.
Keep on renting this thing so we can make more money of it, because otherwise you're going to have to pay $100 for a tape.
But it was worth it because you didn't have to go to the cinema anymore.
I like it that they're still teasing it. In this scene, they don't show him. They don't show the gremlin. You see a little
see
this,
an arm,
a little that, and then he burrows through the ventilation. You're just building up the tension.
Clearly, yeah, and that's a great filmmaking.
Yeah.
You just little pieces here and there.
I mean, with Joe Dante's The Howling, he spends like the first hour of the film just building up a really slow burn type of thing, and then just launches into a fantastic third act that just pays off everything. It just like the guy knows how to subtly set up things and pay them off as it goes along.
And again, we don't know how much of that was him and how much was in the script. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Holy Lord, what in the world is this?
But again, it's all a quick shot. You don't get to see it too much.
It's
just
not
get
a close-up.
Again, a little bit at a time. Don't give you the full thing in one shot.
Which, contradictory to the original when he meets Gizmo, you're in his face immediately.
Yeah.
Oh.
Poor little guy.
Something is not right in this house.
Something is not right, but...
bitch, you need to learn how to frost a cookie.
That is not, maybe...
like, you could make that cookie, but you can't frost... Like, okay, something is wrong.
Maybe Rand Pelcher needs to create a
cookie froster.
Cookie froster. Oh, look at this set. Look at all that. That is perfectly 80s with the kind of plush carpeting and everything.
It's beautiful. I want this home.
Yes.
The same 2 or 3 pictures of baby Galligan on the wall.
Oh, here we go.
I guess I forgot that his room was in the attic.
Yeah.
It makes sense based on, how they've decorated his room.
Yeah.
I just don't recall them having that shot before earlier in the film.
It's like I would not go further into the room and grab the phone. I'd run downstairs and grab the phone. It's like, thank you.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, so
beautiful. Little Drummer Boy.
It's Do You Hear What I Hear? And I actually think of this song.
No.
Whenever I hear this song, for 35 years or whatever it's been now, every time I hear this song, I think of this film. This song and this film are forever linked.
It is along with Little Drummer Boy, is like one of my favorite. Used to be like my favorite Christmas songs.
It's a great song.
Look. Oh, see, I didn't notice that. There's little
paw print or handprints on the receiver.
Nice. Nice little detail there.
Excellent touch. I loved it.
Because first I noticed the dust, and I noticed the prints, and then they're even on the wall there too.
I didn't even see that.
Jeez.
The hand-drawn plate up there.
What the heck is that on?
That picture? That's very 80s with that light wood and then the mauve frame matting that lasted,
It just looks like a bunch of speckles. That was nice with the shadow there.
She's also wearing some nice pink pants. I think they're pink. Unless it's the lighting.
Probably the lighting. I think she's wearing...
Are they beige?
Probably, just tan khakis, I think.
Okay.
Here's our first real glimpse.
Well, he liked the cookie.
It looks terrifying.
It's awesome, though.
It looks fantastic.
And again, the robotics or animatronics on it is...
They look a little jerky here and there, a little bit almost stop motiony, but it's still massively impressive for 1984 work.
Oh, it is a blender. You were right.
Yep.
And
ugh, you ain't cleaning up that kitchen.
She just cleaned all the oranges off the wall.
Oh,
and the cookies, 4 cookies are ruined.
It's like she ain't backing down. Like,
no, she's not.
Screw you. This is my kitchen.
She's not. She's a gladiator here. Look at her go.
Take that, Russell Crowe.
Boy, she just... Look at her sweating.
Yeah. She's intense.
That's actually a pretty... like you said, intense. That's a great scene.
Yeah.
And here's the third one. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the face.
Is that Pam cooking spray? Okay, so apparently...
Oh, here we go.
Apparently...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was flea and tick killer. Excuse me.
Ah.
From what I understand, I don't know if it was brought up in the original review, like Ebert and
Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert, but I guess there was a lot of concern over that scene right there because of people thinking that maybe they were going to try to like microwave
put their cat or something in the microwave or something like that, which
I don't know if that
I don't
ever
recall
became an epidemic.
Any kind of news articles regarding that. I'm sure if there was,
but it was a talking point in the day.
Yeah.
Look at this wallpaper. Oh,
today it'd probably be a lot more outspoken, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But look at this house. Nice fireplace.
Aw. Well, okay, you're not a stupid woman. You know that there can't be a whole gremlin in that stocking.
Well, it make it so freaking oversized just for the sake of the scene.
Right. Who has a stocking that large? A good game of Boggle up there on the mantle. I don't know if you saw that. I like Boggle. Old school Boggle where you like shake it up. Look at all the walnuts. This used to scare me as a kid.
The red eyes.
The red eyes in the tree. And here again, kind of reminiscent back to Corey Feldman in the tree walking around.
Yeah.
You know, the tree has come alive.
There's Stripe hiding in the box that Gizmo was in, I think.
Yeah. And it's interesting that they didn't all get their own personality traits. Only several of them did.
Yeah.
A couple two tree, as we say here in Chicago.
See, every time someone gets decapitated in the film, I always have to say, there can be only one.
And that is like the greatest gremlin of all time.
And he's just going to blow his nose all over
on the curtain.
Just be a little bit more disgusting.
And he's gone. So she got 4 out of the 5.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's not bad.
For a lady with a steak knife and a
TV tray.
TV tray. It's like, Rainbow, you got nothing on her.
You remember a time when you could just, like, go to your neighbor's house and they were friendly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one wants to answer the door.
No.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
What happened to America? Is Giz still in the stocking?
I know, he's in the dumbwaiter.
Oh, that's right.
Laundry chute.
Laundry chute. I had a laundry chute in a house as a kid. And I just thought it was the coolest thing.
Especially if you could, like, fit in it.
Well, no, I couldn't. And
no.
They did that on purpose.
That size only Gizmo can fit into.
And ours was around this size. But, it was on... You go from the 3rd floor, you drop stuff down to the basement.
And you want to kind of race down the stairs and kind of beat it there. Is that the one from Forbidden Planet, I think? I don't know. The robot?
It may have been.
Something like that. I know it's another 50s B-movie thing. Also, like the Shining there, whatnot, all the blue.
A little bit, yeah. And that was still fresh in everybody's mind.
Yeah. And this kind of brings up the things like, well, snow is basically water, but it doesn't affect them the same way pure water does.
Okay.
So they're running around the snow and everything, and the snow melts, it turns into water and everything, so...
In the old YMCA.
Very specifically scientific. It can't be frozen water. It needs pure water.
I wonder if YMCA had a stake in this. Or if maybe by the end they didn't want a stake in it anymore. They said, get our name off of it.
Too late. I figured just like, oh, it's a Spielberg film. Spielberg's involved. Okay, we'll just go
okay.
Sign off on it without even looking at it.
Of course you will.
That was the magic. That was the power of Spielberg.
Oh, he's the King Jew of the world right now, I think.
Look at this nice Dutch angle they got going on here.
And again, the blue.
Yeah. Which will turn to a very sickly color.
Ow.
Ouch.
Uh-oh. Even Giz knows.
Yeah.
Like, uh-oh, shit.
Get me on a plane somewhere. I want to get the hell out of here.
And you're fucked.
Oh,
look at this.
Fucked.
I mean, what a great effect, right?
Oh.
This takes the pool scene in Freddy's Revenge to a...
Screw that.
Puts it to shame.
The fantastic light.
The lights and the fog
the
and
flashes and everything. I mean, whatever they did to achieve this is just...
And this is like a full-size pool.
Yeah.
This isn't like...
Oof. This ain't like a bathtub.
I assume it's dry ice, probably.
Probably. That's a good point. It probably is.
And the light show here? I mean,
and it's kind of Christmas colors, too.
Absolutely.
But, Here we go. Here's Jonathan Banks.
Oh, there he is.
A little pea shooter type of thing he's got going on there. Oh, okay, it's not an actual gun.
Oh, it's a little dart gun.
Yeah, okay. So, like, it's kind of puny for a cop. Apparently, the only two cops in the whole town. You never see any other cops.
They're
in Kingston Falls.
And I always liked there's this stereotypical cop police station written into these films where it's just a couple of guys sitting around. They're never out on patrol. They never have a call.
Nah. Sleepy town. Nothing going on.
They drink coffee.
There's no donuts, though. Damn it.
And this happens in a lot of horror films.
Yeah. The dumb cop thing.
Right. And it's just 2 or 3 cops sitting in a room, and there's like a jail cell, maybe.
But this shot, I think this is all stop motion work, and damn it.
That is such impressive stop motion right there.
Here we go.
And you've now realized that there's, 60 or 70 of these damn things.
Yeah. There's a colony of them.
Colony. That's what a grouping of gremlins is called.
Look at that upholstery.
Those Afghans that were hand crocheted. I mean, I think every mother had one of those in the 80s.
Grandmothers too, yeah. Look at the upholstery on that couch, man. Jeez.
I mean, I had...
Of course, we all had them.
My childhood...
They all looked like that.
Had all those Afghans. I think my mom made them.
I remember having to adjust the antenna when the thing got all foggy. I was all digital, didn't have to worry about this shit, but...
Yeah, and it pissed you off, too, because when you touched the antenna, it grounded.
Yeah.
And so it worked, and then you let go of the antenna, and right, now you're screwed again. You kids today have it so easy.
Yeah, it was so easy. Just all your digital shit, you have no idea.
I mean, my grandmother had a TV, a console TV like that in her home up until maybe 10 years ago.
Mm. We used to have a console TV. It was just... I love retro tech,
Yeah.
I just like to have this stuff because it just feels so cool. Oh, here we go. It's kind of like it's gonna be the first time the full theme really kicks in.
What is he reacting to? Because he started reacting before the thing started driving through the
A whole
garage.
second before he burst through.
This actually used to really scare me as a kid. Like, I used to think that, perhaps some big farm equipment was going to come out of a garage and, like, run me over.
I dare you not to have this theme song in your head for a few days after watching this movie. It's so catchy. It's so perfect.
And they have a picture of Nixon on the wall. Well, not anymore, but they did.
Nixon.
Old Dick Nixon.
Tricky Dick.
I mean, now she's hitting him. Like, stop it.
He's having a shell-shocked flashback or something.
Another great little piece of a set here. This church or whatever it is with the street lamps.
Yeah. It almost looks like Ian McKellen.
A little bit. I don't think it's supposed to do that. Okay, so here's something that hasn't changed since 1984. The mailbox.
Mailbox is not
It looks exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's nice because this guy was in the early scene of the bank with Mrs. Deagle.
Right.
And now he's got his arm chopped.
And we have not seen Mrs. Deagle in quite a while.
Oh, we'll see her.
Well, I know we will.
I know.
You're right. What a great piece of music.
Yeah. Jerry Goldsmith, wonderful guy, man. I mean, just...
I'm going to have to...
patriotic mogwai.
I'm going to have to download the theme. And I got to put the soundtrack on my... in my life.
Yes.
Banks.
The guy has such a long career. Still having a great one.
Absolutely. I mean, Mike Ehrmantraut is one of the greatest characters on TV.
These character actors just go on forever,
They
man.
do.
I mean, lead actors, you can kind of go up and down, but character actors are just like forever.
They are. It's really the way to go. I mean, he probably never got, up until, Breaking Bad, he probably never had, like, a big payday.
Yeah.
Freak accident.
Freak accident.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic. Cop knows best.
Cop
And
knows
again,
best.
Adult, child doesn't know what's going on. I don't know what age they put him at, because obviously he's an employee, he works. He's probably young adult.
Probably somewhere around college age, I'm betting.
But again,
somewhere in that range.
The adults know better than what the kids say is not validated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Deagle.
Oh, real estate. Okay.
Deagle real estate. That's why she's running everyone crazy in the town.
Sure.
She owns everything.
Okay, so you may or may not recall, in the 80s, this whole chair lift thing
there were some infomercials out.
Yeah, it was like the hottest shit that you'd ever seen. And, like, this revolutionized senior care. And every commercial, was like, they had the chairlift, and you're like, this is the coolest thing. I'd never seen one that went around a corner before, like up a curve, until this film. And once again, the other thing, the chairlift is the other thing that I associate with this film.
Absolutely.
To this day, every time I see a chairlift, I think Gremlins. I hear, do you hear what I hear? I think Gremlins. And I may now think of Gremlins when I see Jonathan Banks. But...
And when you see cats, too. She's got about 50 cats in this house.
Well, she's a crazy cat lady.
And look at that wallpaper. Hello.
Holy Christ. Why even put pictures on the wall? You can't.
It's everywhere. Oh, this is wonderful.
And they're singing carols. I don't know where they got outfits from.
I imagine this was in the script, but it's also such a Joe Dante thing to kind of mix the horror and the humor
comedy
together.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that so well, especially in The Burbs. You just never know where to laugh or be terrified or both. She's terrified.
Which is probably why it garnered the PG rating, because your choices were PG or R.
Yeah.
And to me, this doesn't feel
If it was
R.
a straight horror film, it would have been too hard to argue against an R rating. But since there's so much comedy in it,
Goodbye.
play just over the top enough to be ridiculous. And the eyes looking the other way in the photograph. Oh, Miss Deagle.
Shot out of a window.
Did she deserve it?
Hands down.
Hands down.
Did you see the beginning of the film?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Like
when she was going to kill that dog, when she hung the dog
because of the dog, because of the dog.
Oh, and here's Santa
And
getting
that's
attacked.
because she's a cat person.
Well, absolutely.
And the Santa being attacked by gremlins. It doesn't get funnier.
You take your child to see this film, and here's Santa, the great Santa, dying at the hands of a gremlin.
3 gremlins. These cackling maniac creatures.
And here's some comic relief from Jonathan Banks. I'll just roll up the window.
Just get the fuck out of here.
The old one, again, snow spray painted on the car. They don't even have a back window for you. Can't see where they're going.
Can't see shit. There we go.
It's so good. Look at those
The
scissors.
size of them damn scissors,
It's
man.
Brutus Beefcake shears.
Starting cutting. What the hell is going on? There.
Oh, you're about. Oh, the brake
they
line's
killed the
cut.
brakes.
There goes your one
Nice.
cop car.
A little bit of stunt there.
All
Not too
state.
ambitious.
Allstate Insurance.
Fantastic close up there, man.
And if only this beagle worked.
It works once. And that's it.
Giz has spent most of this film absolutely terrified.
It's the one time the car works. Because of plot convenience.
Sure, right, yeah.
And it doesn't work when the plot needs it not to work. Little dials on the radio. Or can't get quite the right frequency.
No,
Always
no, it's well,
always
right.
had to toggle a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You tap it a little bit, a couple of times.
Oh, the smokeless ashtray coming up.
Sure. That horse logo. This is an actual gas station logo, and I
Yeah.
can't think of what it is.
Oh, it's a mobile station.
Oh, mobile
It's
station.
on the
Okay.
left-hand side there.
I've got just the thing for you, sir.
There's some Cheetos in there too. The old logo, the old packaging. Doritos
And the Dorito up top,
Doritos
yeah.
up top, yeah. And lots of cigarettes.
And, motor oil in a can, because that was a thing back then. Everything came in like a heavy-duty can
Yeah.
before they realized that plastic was perfectly good. And that's a bowling bag? The Peltzer bowling bag?
Peltzer bowling bag.
But
And it's interesting because you can see all the butts on the table there, so it's like you see, so you don't have an ashtray. I got something for you.
smokeless ashtrays actually became a thing. They got the hockey game on. Okay, now we're going to have some fun.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets wild. All at Phoebe Cates' expense.
And she's still serving them.
She probably can't get out of the damn place.
She's cute as a button.
Oh, jeez. And
And here's the stereotypical bar folk.
they know how to sing, they know how to dance,
They're literally
Smoking.
swinging from the
It's-
chandeliers.
smoking and drinking.
I don't know what he's drinking there, but a bottle of some kind of the barber pole. There's one hanging out on the barber pole up top back there.
Why is there a barber pole in the bar?
It's probably
I don't
just
know.
set, just a decoration, I've been in establishments that had decor like this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the flasher! That was
Oh, nice little latex effect there with the stomach filling up with beer.
That poor pool table will never be the same.
They
Okay,
know how
what
to
game
play-
is this now? I don't recognize this
know.
game.
They know how to play poker.
This is almost a parody of the famous painting of the dogs.
Yeah.
Whatever that one's called.
Yeah.
It's got a name and I can't remember it. And that one's
one
wearing a
of them's in
bonnet
drag.
and makeup, lipstick on her. Where did that gremlin get lipstick from?
It's got earrings too. Boom.
Well, he was cheating. And at
That's
this
what you
point,
do.
Stripe is in charge, right?
Oh,
he is the leader of
He's the boss. A little jazz for you.
It would have been great if they'd had a Hoyt Axton song come on. That would have been a good...
Oh no, but then they wouldn't have this nice sort of jazzy film noir moment here with the bogey.
Jimmy Cagney kind of...
This is cute as hell. And puppets.
I can't... And puppets for the... That's outstanding. It is so good. And he just...
Just bunks
I mean,
him
this
on
is
the
like...
head.
Oh, he's a maniac.
So-
That's, Flash Dance right there.
yeah.
An homage to Flash Dance.
Just
Tables reserved.
this is what I mean when the film gets completely ridiculous. It's such the best way possible.
It's so good. Finger in the
Zapped.
light socket.
Oh.
Oh, let me light you a match here. That bright light doesn't bother... Well, I guess bright lights don't really bother the gremlins.
Well, they do. In a moment here. See, I would think, because you'll see here in a moment, because she brings out the Polaroid.
Okay.
She makes the distinction that, oh, well, bright light affects him. I would think it would be fire. Just from
Right, from
just
lighting
what
the
she's
match,
doing.
yeah.
Fire, oh, they're afraid of fire instead of some kind of bright light. But
Yeah, that's
the
a-
films bring its own logic to the table, so
Well, it's possible that...
I'm sure they don't like fire any better than bright light.
It's
but-
possible that in an off-screen moment, Galligan told her that Mom took a photo and it scared him. And she knew, I
okay.
mean, we didn't see it. I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah, I know. Just thinking in the context of the...
Okay, so Polaroid film is fucking expensive.
Oh,
So I'm glad that she ran out of film because that shit didn't last forever. Polaroid cameras are cool as hell. I love them. But you needed to have a cartridge, every like 6 shots or something.
oh. Just love all the color in this film. I mean, again, if you watch The Howling, Joe Dante just uses color so vibrantly on screen. He just uses it to add so much atmosphere to a film.
It really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, is
And
that
the chaos.
Is that 1, 2, 3, and
Stuff
then
in
go?
the window up there, and they're running
The
around
lamp comes out the
streets.
window. Yeah.
There's a big piece of production there.
This whole thing, I mean, look at all the way down the
all
block.
the flashing lights, everyone's running around. I mean, that's
Right. How many times did they have to roll on this scene alone?
yeah. They hit all the marks.
Now the savings and loan is fucked.
Yeah. And we're gonna be coming up to the infamous scene of the tragedy of her life.
Sure. And it always made me like, it's kind of a roller coaster film here.
Yeah.
You start off and you're like, oh, this is sweet. It's a family thing. It's a Christmas thing. You're good. And then it gets like terrifying.
Yeah.
And then it gets silly. So now at this point, you're actually not as afraid of the Gremlins because you're entertained by the Gremlins.
Yeah.
So I feel like the tension has gone away.
Yeah.
And here we go. And she's going to tell the most sad story of all time.
Yeah. And I guess Spielberg was a little wasn't sure about having this scene in the film. He was kind of flip-flopping, I don't know, flip-flopping, but a little bit indecisive about whether or not to have it in there, but he allowed Joe Dante to have the final word. Because I guess they both kind of had joint final cut on the film, but it becomes such an iconic moment in the film.
Her character really didn't add a whole lot to the story.
No.
And it needed something.
To be there.
It needed something.
Yeah.
And
why take away her one strong scene in the film to give her some substance? She plays it so well. She's just, that's that, between the lighting they got going on and how she's just delivering it, adds so much to it.
I mean, we've got, even he's sad.
Yeah.
And I like that they put in the story here, they made it sound like Dad was pretending to be Santa. Because obviously the real Santa can get in and out of chimneys, no problem.
Yeah.
So just in case you did have a child watching this film,
still believe
you're covered your ass. And I can't even imagine.
Thing is not working. And he grabbed a whole bunch of cigarettes. So what's he carrying?
I don't know. He probably traded for all of that business.
He's dying.
So this explains why she doesn't like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the film is going to be the reason why he doesn't like Christmas.
Sure. It's not going to be too warm of a memory anymore. Nice atmosphere with all the fog. Yeah, just kind of aftermath of destruction and everything.
But is it really? Like, why wouldn't it still be going on? Like, they were just partying real hard. What made them stop?
They're going to the movies.
That's true.
The fire.
You have the benefit of having seen this more recently than I have.
Yes. Thankfully.
I'm just thinking as a logical, progression.
Mm-hmm.
At this point,
yeah, you're wondering, like, why is it so damn quiet? What
right?
the hell's going
why
on
is it
here?
quiet? Right. So I guess it is perfect. It's a great story, plot point that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
They're wondering too, what the hell's going on?
Monogram drugstore? Interesting. Snow White.
Mm-hmm. Strange enough, the next year in Back to the Future, when they're in the 1985 scenes, that's the Triple X Theater.
Oh, is it?
The adult theater, yeah.
The adult theater.
Here's playing a Disney film.
Well, there's juxtaposition for you. The old Milky Way logo. I generally consider the cinema to be the happiest place on
They have
earth.
cigarettes here. They had a box of menthol. A big box of menthols.
This is great. Look at them all.
Just utterly zany.
As a former projectionist, this hurts my heart.
I just see the film just being
yes,
scrambled together and everything. Oh, hanging from the rafters.
You know how long it would take to fix that right there? That's
no
4 or 5 hours worth of fixing to put that bastard back together. It does say Joe on the Hi Joe. It said written on the projector.
Film's director. Here we go.
Yay! They're so happy. And again, we've learned from the Mogwai that they are musically talented.
Yes.
That's the one that I want. If I'm going to get a Gremlin replica, I want the 2 bags of popcorn on the ears.
It really becomes like a Looney Tunes cartoon completely.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is just...
So we're not scared anymore, which
No.
is great. Coming attractions, let's see. I don't recognize...
No, I don't know. I don't recognize the
Although-
faces there.
obviously, if we weren't doing a commentary, I'd say let's do a rewind and pause, but we can't. But one of those images looked really familiar to me.
And I don't know if that's visual effects there, stop motion, but that's impressive. Just seeing like 50 of them in one shot.
Sure.
All moving around and everything. I mean, a lot of films would spend a lot of time just making one of these things and making it look impressive, but the fact that they got made so many of these damn things and they all work and look so fantastic, I mean, that's a lot of money. I'm not sure the budget on the film, but definitely put it to damn good use.
The number 11 million comes to mind, and I don't know if that was the budget or if that's what it made in its opening weekend. But I feel like 11 million was a number that comes to mind. And he's gonna wrench. What is he doing? Oh, he's turning on the gas. Yeah. Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay, so at this point in life, I believe we still had the highly flammable film. I don't know if we'd switched to safety film. For years and years, for those of you not in the film industry, the actual film that broadcast in the theaters was ridiculously flammable and was known to just combust and start these fires.
Yeah, I mean, you're projected by shining a bright, hot light through the damn thing. I mean, it's dangerous.
And so they, at some point, switched to a safety film, which was like more of a synthetic film that did not. Oh, what a great shot! That did not, burn up immediately. Yeah. But there's a.
And the ones with the buckets on there.
That's so good. That became a plot point, I believe, in Inglourious Bastards. They lit the film on fire to create this giant explosion.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was necessarily the case in '84. I think they'd switched by then.
I'd hope so. But yeah, I just looked up. It was $11 million budget.
$11 million budget.
So that, I mean, today $11 million. You don't think that's a whole lot, but going back to 1980s dollars, it was a pretty
That's probably what
good budget. You could do a lot of work on. I mean,
Montgomery Ward. I love Montgomery Ward.
Monkey Awards. I mean, going back to The Howling, that was made with $1 million, and they made one fantastic looking werewolf in that movie and some fantastic effects. So, tack on another $10 million on top of that, you can do fantastic work.
Stripe was out getting the Three Musketeers.
Getting the munchies. And they think it's all good, but nah. And it's kind of nice because now you've gotten rid of all the zany stuff.
Right.
You just eliminated the zany stuff. Now you're back to the evil son of a bitch.
Right.
One singular enemy to deal with.
Who has since eaten after midnight all of these people.
Yeah.
Or all of these gremlins, but I guess the point is moot now for the dead ones.
They've reached their full maturation. Nice toy store with sporting goods and
sure. I mean, I don't know if this is the Montgomery Ward.
Yeah. Nice garden center too. Oh, there we go. Just paid off just a little bit. A little bit more of that heart into the film.
A little bit. I mean, and every time they shoot Gizmo, your heart just melts a little bit. And they are in the Montgomery Ward.
Monkey Wards. Thank you. Housewares.
I love housewares. Again, I wonder if Montgomery Ward signed off on this, or if you ask for forgiveness instead of permission.
Again, I think Spielberg being attached.
I'm sure.
Just signed it over.
Yeah.
It'll look good. Another console TV at the bottom there.
Well, that was silly. How did that happen? How is he being broadcast on all the TVs? Oh, see yourself on TV.
See yourself on TV.
She's going like to the office? Is that what?
Control center.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, $11 million budget made like $150 million overall. So I mean, that's an amazing success for this film.
I believe they re-released it again.
Yeah, the following year.
Yeah,
they did a re-release
with the PG-13.
Probably,
rating.
possibly. I'm not sure.
Because I think it ended up as the DVD is a 13, isn't it? Let's see.
It still says PG.
It still says PG, so they didn't change it.
No, I think it only gets like re-rated if you make alterations to the film or something. The original certification typically stands.
There's an ET,
which is nice because this is kind of homaging ET, where ET's hiding within all the stuffed animals.
The stuffed animals, yeah.
And now you're kind of layering this on top of that imagery and everything. So,
which again is just Spielberg.
Yeah.
Stroking himself.
Yeah, a little bit.
As he did with the Raiders gag in the beginning. Here's a pretty iconic piece of set imagery.
Yeah.
Not that it's been used in other films. I just like it's one of those things that when you think of this film, you kind of think of this fountain on the saw blades.
Yeah, this is terrifying. I mean, how many times have you been around a saw blade and just...
Well, they're sharp.
The idea just comes in your head, your hand's going to just get ripped open or something.
They're really scary thing. Like, even in the hardware store, you pick one up and you're like, oh, I don't know, I don't like this.
I don't like the look of this.
And then to have one of those, like, chuck it at your head.
Oh, here we go.
I like that he was doing the little army crawl. That was cute.
Pure patter.
Sporting goods.
Sporting goods.
There's balls everywhere.
Oh, right in the spine.
A kidney.
Strike. Oh.
That had to be very painful.
Yes.
Half price for custom-made window treatments. Oh yeah, that's no good.
Light. But again, nice little subtle thing because we've been at night for so long.
Right.
Just give me that.
And now he's got a crossbow.
Give me that,
oh shit.
Oh shit. Again, mechanically inclined.
Ow. Okay. I'll go on record as saying I think getting shot by an arrow might be one of the most painful things in the history of, war. That's how we all feel, Galligan.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Oh, shit. You seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
The Kingston Falls Chainsaw Massacre. And you're telling me that can't eat through a baseball bat?
Oh, come on. Should grab the aluminum bat, damn it.
Come on, Giz. What'd you learn from watching your movie? There it is, the Barbie car. He's so proud of himself.
Yeah. Woohoo. You get the audio from that film he was
just in
watching.
Case you forgot.
Yeah, just a little set. It's probably running through his head too. It's like, yeah. It's like you watch Magnum PI. It's like, I want to drive around that car. So you go out and you
envision
your Ford Topaz like a Magnum PI
with a Magnum PI voiceover playing in your head.
There you go.
the saw.
Little goofy sound.
The grunting, yeah.
Little birds flying around the head.
Shake it off, Stripe. Oh yeah.
Time for a bath.
Is that what he said? Fountain?
Water or something. He said water there.
Oh.
He's getting lethal now.
Little 6-shooter.
It's Rand.
And why is there nobody else in this town? Like, the whole town has gone to hell, and nobody's come outside to go, hey, what's going on?
Like one square block of people, and that was about it. There's no one downtown. I mean, you could maybe say a bunch of people are out of town for a holiday, but
I'm not buying it.
That's a lot of people.
I'm not buying it.
That's a lot of people to evacuate the town in a short time. Where's the doggy?
Oh, there's that Hot Wheels Dash and Crash. Is that what it was called? I had
Crash
that
and
thing.
Dash or something.
Yeah, I had that little toy. It was a great toy.
Again, nice use of the greens here.
I don't recall a time when department stores had a full greenhouse.
No, I was kind of thinking that. It's like, I've never been in...
I mean, I've been in garden centers.
Oh, yeah, but they never have like a full working fountain or whatnot. It could typically be humid just for the sake of the plants, but I don't remember ever seeing a working fountain there.
The car scenes are kind of fast. I assume that they did some sort of like pulling, like a string. They pulled the car.
Something, yeah. Or remote control.
Oh, it could. Yeah, I guess
control,
you're right.
sure.
RC, yeah. Peltzer invented that. Yeah. Oh man, now there is a scary.
That's gross. He's going so fast he's scaring himself, but woohoo!
Aw. Shake it off, kids.
But this is great here. Going up.
He's so smart.
So smart. In fact, that Gizmo's been not been able to be very effective in doing anything in the film. That he's the one who
actually
is able to do the thing.
Yeah.
They kill off the last one of them. Look how grotesque this is.
And it's kind of, vampire-y.
Yeah. Wicked Witch of the West.
Sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of element of that. And the poor dog who's just been jealous the whole time. Oh, what a
disgusting.
Great melted gremlin. That would be actually a cool action figure right there. The melted gremlin.
Or like a statue or something.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they've put out multiple toys.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's amazing. We watched this film as kids and, like, we were able to take it.
Yeah. Well, we also watched, other horror films. The Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Chainsaws and the Friday the 13th. And we said, oh, this is entertaining. But somehow you put this little funny, fuzzy animal that's so cute, and it really adds this element.
Softens everything.
It adds this element of, it's almost worse. How dare they do these kinds of things to animals?
He's still playing with it a little bit because you got all the
lights,
the dry eye stuff, and all this bubbling stuff going on,
and
then
the bones,
and then it melts in one shot. This is just more fantastic physical effects here. I mean, it goes from this rigid thing down to this like
what an outstanding visual effects team. The bubbling goo.
Yeah. I mean, this is the era that was the pinnacle of physical effects.
Yeah, we really started getting into computers in the next few years.
Yeah.
And this kind of became a lost art,
Dory's Tavern.
Dory's Tavern.
I see these people explain all this stuff to the insurance companies.
Right. Look at this bedlam.
It's Beirut.
That wasn't Kingston Falls, sir.
No, it was not.
Aww.
Oh. Don't do that.
It's funny because every nurse and every mom that ever administered one of those always said, don't bite down.
Here we go. Sold. Because it's interesting, he doesn't know that all this stuff is happening. He's just come back to go grab him because he knew he sold him.
Right, he
off.
found him.
He's not seen the news and seen all this destruction that happened.
Impeccable timing on his part too. He just
Yeah.
shows up right at
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah. Too bad we can't see that kitchen again. See, thinking,
Right.
See,
The green goo.
Can you actually clean it up, or are they just writing it off?
Yep. There's always a moral at
Mm-hmm.
the end of the story. Okay. Okay.
It's a little bit preachy. It's a little on the head.
But I don't know. It's not awful.
No. As at the end of the film, you can
Right. We've
get
already
a little weight in the message there. I mean, this guy's very old world type of stuff, so you can understand his perspective on Western world exploiting things and all that type of stuff. And this guy turns out to be a pretty solid actor in this role. He has all the right qualities to sell what this character has to bring to the film.
Aww. Bye, Billy.
Oh, breaks your heart.
It does. I'm choking up here.
Imagine if you're 4 or 5 years old sitting in the theater, like you're probably bawling in tears.
Well, right,
now.
you've already shit your pants.
You shit your pants. Now you're just weeping in your
In your
parents'
shit
lap.
soiled seat. Offer you a smokeless ashtray. Perfect.
But he'll take it anyway.
It's so good. He need,
He's a kind enough gentleman. He'll take it.
again, just this beautiful idyllic
lighting,
neighborhood
yeah.
set.
The blue light and then all the little lights from the ornament or the dressings and everything. Again, perfect Christmas warmth.
Absolutely.
Another wonderful matte painting.
And again, here we've got the voiceover at the end, and he's saying,
Bookended.
It just is, keep in mind, it might not be over. And I don't think they intended for a sequel. That wasn't
Not
the
this
point
time,
of it.
no.
That wasn't
They're
the
just-
point.
They're just bookending the kind of warmth at the beginning and kind of the
Right.
leaving a little kind of.
And here's that great score.
Yeah, Goldsmith. Just it has all the perfect elements of the film. There's a little bit of psycho in there with the kind of shrieking quality, but it's also so playful and kind of freaky, mischievous.
Sure.
It just has all the right elements. It's the beauty of Jerry Goldsmith. The guy always could just pinpoint the right feeling, the right tone for a film, no matter how crazy it is. And look, Frank Welker, Peter Cullen, Michael
Right.
Winslow.
Oh, and Barney.
You got Megatron, Optimus Prime, and the guy from Police Academy all doing voices for the film.
That's so great. So yeah, I mean, and I like that they did that psychology at the end. Hey, next time your shit doesn't work.
Yeah, something's on the fritz.
Right, it might.
Turn on all the lights, look on all the stuff, look on all the cupboards. You might just have a gremlin.
Yeah, it's like what a great and his
It
voice.
just gives you that right resonance at the end of the film. Just give you a little bit of that chill.
Just a chill, right? It's so good.
To just leave you with a little bit of a buzz there.
Oh, I don't know if there's any other notables here in the credits.
I'm not sure.
But I mean, just a fun film from front to back.
Still holds up so well.
It does.
It's 32 years old, I think. 32,
Yeah,
94?
Yeah, 84.
The years get a little fuzzy after a while, people.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're at 32 years right now. There's your matte paintings.
Fantasy 2 Film Effects worked with James Cameron a couple times. Stop motion
The
work.
great James Cameron.
Great James Cameron.
Chris Wallace Inc. Anybody know what he did?
I'm not sure what else he did, but they did all the design and stuff and for the creatures themselves.
Performed by Quarter Flash. They had a great hit 1980s. Harden My Heart. Harden Your Heart. Do You Hear What I Hear? The Johnny Mathis. Yeah.
Peter Gabriel from Genesis previously.
Words and music by Mark Hudson on that. Famous musical producer. So, yeah, I mean, dust this one off every Christmas. It's a great Christmas film.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen it years until I just watched it and I had to prepare for this, and I was just so great that it still holds up, still hits all the marks, that it's still scary, still funny.
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, and not your traditional Christmas film, but 'tis the season. It's currently Christmas time that we're recording this, so happy holidays to everyone that's listening. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, so thanks, guys, and post your comments below about your thoughts about the film and everything, and we'll be back soon with more.
See you next time.
Bye-bye. Cackles at the end is wonderful. Bye-bye.